Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists out of pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. Number 10 on the list are the Blood Talon Raptors. These are the raptors that are, oh my god, what? They're ghosts. Ghost raptors. Ghost raptors are on the list. They'd be really cool though for a starting zone mob. They're just phasing in and out. Either way, Blood Talon Raptors are number 10 on the list, and for a few reasons. One of them is they're one of the first starting zone things you would run into back in old WoW, because you would get out of the Orc starting area and go to the Echo Isles. So they weren't technically starting area mobs, but now they are because of the Troll starting area. And Blood Talon Raptors are one of my favorites as well, because I have my WoW leveling pet, Larry, who is a Blood Talon Raptor. And so obviously I have an attachment to Blood Talon Raptors because of that. Also, look at their toes. Look at their toes. Look at this. Look how weird that is. It's like, I don't know if it's a nervous twitch they got, or it just keeps tapping. It's like they could have little tap shoes and just do a little raptor tap dance. That'd be kind of cool, right? That'd be kind of cool. No? Okay. Number 9 are the Quill Boars, and I picked the Quill Boars because they're essentially like the Horde version of Kobolds. And what I mean by that is they're just everywhere, right? If you start as a Tauren, you fight the Quill Boars right away. They're just burning down everything. You got to go out, you got to kill them. They're just everywhere in Durotar. They're not in the direct starting zone, but once you get a little further into it, there's Quill Boars all over the place. There's Quill Boars in the Barrens. They got their own instances. They killed Mancrick's wife. Spoilers. But it's like Quill Boars. Like, you hate them, but you love them at the same time. And that's why I don't put them high up on the list. But I mean, everybody knows about Quill Boars, so you gotta put them on the list. Quill Boars. And I don't know how they do it, but they all have these like brambly, thorn, spiky type atmospheres they got. I don't know how they grow these things. I don't think these were here before in Durotar, but somehow the Quill Boars are able to just grow spikes out of the ground. I don't know how you do it. If anybody knows, put it in the comments, because I sure don't. Number 8 are the Vile Familiars, and I'm sure you'll be very familiar with these starting zone mobs. I thought that one up myself. I don't even know if that's how you say it. Familiar? Familiar? Is it familiar or familiar? Like, I know that's how you spell the word familiar, but like, it could be familiar. I don't know. It's a weird fantasy race. Either way, they're just these little blue shit kids that run around and they're just like, and they got their little spike. They've had a visual upgrade, so they don't look the same way they do back in vanilla WoW or prior to whenever they got updated, but they are still these little blue imps. They're just everywhere, running around in the upper half of the starting zone for orcs, and they're just annoying. And like, when you start out playing, this is one of the most frustrating mobs I had to fight, that I remember fighting when I was like new to the game, just running around and trying to save that guy in the background that's suffering from scorpion poison or whatever it is. But either way, I mean, they've made me nostalgic about them. So even though I hate them, I'm still nostalgic about them. And look at this cave. Who doesn't remember this cave? Where you gotta go get that pickaxe in there? I don't even know if you got to keep doing that. I actually haven't leveled an orc in forever. I just remember you had to go in this cave and get someone's pickaxe, and you had to get through these guys to get there. And they're great gymnasts. I mean, look at this guy. Watch this backflip. Boom. Look at that. That's an 8 out of 10 landing. That's why I put him at number 8. Number 7 are Night Sabers, and I put the Night Sabers at number 7 because I think they just blend in really well with the environment. No pun intended, because, you know, they can, like, they're stealthy, they're cats, they're blending in, camouflage, all that. Oh, wow, I just had the realization that I'm always like, this number, or no, what do I say? I put this thing at number blank because blank. I think I say that for every single category. I'm like, I put this thing at number 7 because it's a blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that's my go-to phrase for every single number. Have I said that like forever? Does this go back years? I put this thing at number 7 because like somebody's got to go back and check. You got to go back and check. I mean, I could go back and check, but I can't because I'm recording this right now. I will after. Either way. Night Sabers, number 7. And look at those backbones. Look at those backbones. Those are some flexible backbones right there. Number 6 are the Leper Gnomes, and they're a bit of a newer starting zone mob since they got revamped in Cataclysm. It used to just be they would start where the dwarves start. Now they got their own area, and I never actually read into the lore behind the Leper Gnomes, and it's like they all got radiated, and some of them are surviving, some of them became Leper Gnomes. I don't know what they're doing. They're walking around with like these scuba helmets on, but like some of them are like able to see, but others look like they're completely lost. Like they're just like, where am I going? And they're like walking around. They're like, ah! They start walking on objects. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they can see or not. I think it's just one of the great mysteries of the World of Warcraft. And then the people trying to take them out are these people with guns, but I don't think they're very good at what they're doing, because one of the gnomes is just aiming at a table, not doing anything. One's inside of a light table. I don't know what it is. And then this one's just shooting through the wall. I mean, come on, Blizzard. This gnome should be promoted to like one of the top generals with her ability to shoot through things. This is fantastic. Number 5 are the Kobolds, and you knew Kobolds were coming up on this list, and sadly, Kobolds have been moved out of the human starting area, which I thought was crazy. These are like one of the staple mobs. Now they're a little bit more into Elwyn Forest, so they're not right away, but I mean, so they're still technically a starting mob, just not starting zone mob. Either way, these are, much like how I was talking about the Quill Boars, the Alliance version. These Kobolds are everywhere. They're Elwyn Forest, Loch Modan, Westfall, Stone Talon Mountains, Thousand Needles, Arathi Highlands. Like, Kobolds are just everywhere. And so when you're a new player starting out the game, you pretty much know about Kobolds. And if you're someone that played WoW for just a little bit, and then you quit after getting to like even level 30, level 40 or something, and you just didn't play anymore, you would know what Kobolds are. So I feel like Kobolds just reach a vast majority of the World of Warcraft player base. And that's why they just got to be on this list. Plus, take Candle. Take Candle. And now they just got their Hearthstone expansion. They're famous. Good job, Kobolds. You did it. You keep your candles. Let's move on. Number 4 are the Ice Trolls in Dun Morogh, and they're a bit similar to the Durotar Vile Familiars, in which they're kind of around the same level you face them, but I think the Ice Trolls are a lot cooler, to be honest. They're just these trolls that live in this ice cave, and kind of have their little camp set up all around, and I always remember them, because the first character I ever made was a Dwarf Hunter, and for some reason in my mind, I just always remembered the Ice Trolls, and I think they annoyed me, fighting them to a point where I went and made my Orc Hunter Billy. And the rest was history with that. So thank you, Ice Trolls. But here's the thing with Ice Trolls. Here's some history on them. The Ice Trolls of the Frostmane tribe had been the enemies of the Dwarven Kingdom since the Dwarves invaded the surface of Dun Morogh and took it from the Trolls hundreds of years ago. Before this catastrophe befell them, the Ice Trolls had controlled a small empire in Dun Morogh. Recently, in their ongoing ancestral holy war against the Dwarves, they have been content to let the Troggs wear down their enemies for them. And then there's the Ice Trolls of Northrend, who are also just getting killed off by, like, the Scourge and the Azjal Narub Ancient Empire. Like, the Ice Trolls just want to catch a break, man. They just want to have their holy empire, and the Dwarves, the Scourge, the spider-looking Azjal Narub people, like, come on. Just let them have something, So, I mean, Ice Trolls, you know what? They keep getting killed, but they keep sticking it out. Good for you, Ice Trolls. Round of applause. Round of applause for the Ice Trolls. Good job. Number 3 are the Blackrock. And we're not talking about the Blackrock warriors that are burning down the forests, destroying the farms, attacking anybody that gets near them. We're not talking about those Blackrock. No. We're talking about the Blackrock Spies. That's right, the Blackrock Spies, who walk around as assassins, not in stealth, extremely unsubtle. And they just kind of walk back and forth around this tree, and they have telescopes to spy on you. However, they are not aiming them at anyone. They're aiming them at the ground. So unless they're spying on ants or insects, I don't think they're doing a very good job. Also, I don't think they're actually looking into the telescope. So I don't even think they're doing that. I don't know what they're doing. They're not even moving. Like, look at this. Look at this one. She's like, look, can we get a zoom in? Zoom in on their face. I don't think they're looking into that telescope. All right? I don't think they are. And this guy is definitely not looking into it. Look at this. The telescope's at his forehead. There's no way he can see into that thing. And that's why I had to put him at number 3, because they are a special type of starting zone mob. Bravo. Number 2 are the Troggs. And I put the Troggs on this list because much like reasons before, these are one of the first mobs I ever fought in the game. But you come into the game and you're like, what are these things? They're just these weird looking, ugly, troll, humanoid-esque creature. And I've never actually learned about the Troggs, so I took this opportunity to go research them a bit, and it's kind of crazy. Following the war with the old gods, the Keepers used the Forge of Wills to create new Titan Forged to help them reshape the world. Yet their first designs proved to be too complex and overambitious. Rather than making the perfect servants, they had created stone-skinned savages known as Troggs. The Keepers quickly refined and perfected their designs. The next generation of Titan Forged who emerged from the Forge of Wills will be known as the Earthen, or would be known as the Earthen. So the Troggs are essentially just a failed experiment. They're just a failed experiment, and then apparently they got awoken after the dwarves dug too deep into Uldaman or Cosmodon or something. And just now they're everywhere. They're like the cousins of the dwarves. It's really weird. They also worship salamanders, but for some reason kill the salamanders and eat them or make armor and weapons out of them. Why would you kill and eat the things that you worship? I don't know. I mean, listen, they're Troggs, all right? And number 1 goes to Boars. Now, Boars might not be the most interesting starting zone mob, but I think they're the most well-known starting zone mob. And even if you don't play World of Warcraft, you've probably heard of Boars in starting zones. I mean, think of the South Park World of Warcraft episode where they're like, oh, we could just level up by killing boars, you know? So, I mean, somebody might not even play the game would be like, oh, yeah, can you, like, kill a bunch of boars in WoW to level up? They must be the low-level mob, right? So, I mean, everybody knows about boars. And they're in most of the starting zones on top of that. They're in Dun Morogh, they're in Durotar, they're in Mulgore, they're in the Night Elf starting zone. They're all over. And because of that, boars are number 1. Okay. Okay. See ya.